Good morning. Welcome to Mindful Meetup, the morning edition. Let's just take a moment or two to fully appreciate the space that we're in before we even stretch into our bodies and the day. I'd invite you to just look around the space that you're in. So lifting the eyes from the screen and just looking around the room you're in. You might be really familiar with this space. You might spend the majority of your time in the space you're sitting in. Or it might be a new space to you for some reason. But looking around the room you're in, even if it's a place you spend a lot of time, this is the first now that you've ever been here. This is the first of this morning, this day. So just letting the eyes travel and letting the head and neck follow that. And really see where you are. Appreciating your ability to see. Seeing light, shadow, color, shape, texture. If something really attracts your view, you can let the gaze rest there for a moment or two. But otherwise, just beginning by really seeing in all directions, on the sides, behind, below, looking down, looking up. And then letting the head and neck follow this. This is actually a settling technique if you're ever really anxious. This is one tactic to deal with free-floating anxiety. Really see where you are. Take it in, and you might notice your breathing changes a little bit as you do this. Get oriented. And in just those few minutes that we've been looking around, you can return your gaze to the screen now. In just those few minutes, the light in my room has changed. Looking out the window, the sun is even brighter. The morning's light, even brighter than it was 2 minutes ago. So appreciating the continuous changes that are always happening. We can direct our participation in those changes. And that's really what we're here to learn. Both here this morning and here in general. So let's take in 3 mindful breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let the jaw relax on the out breath. It's possible that you've been holding a lot of tension overnight in your jaw. So on this one last full breath in and out, really releasing that tension. Good. Now we're going to inhale and lift the hands up overhead, stretch the arms up. And as you're stretching, notice 2 directions, up through the fingertips toward the sky. Sorry, lots of sinus drainage this morning. Fingers stretching up toward the sky, sits bones, base of pelvis, stretching down toward the earth. So don't lift your butt up off the seat, don't arch your back. Keep your lower back relaxed. Feel that grounding below, feel that reaching above. Big breath in and then let the arms and hands come out to the sides. And we're going to bend and stretch the wrists so it looks like this with your arms outstretched. So fingers pointing down, fingers pointing up. And just alternate flexing and extending the wrists. Can you keep your shoulders relaxed as you do this? Can you keep your neck free? Apologizing in advance this morning for all the throat clearing and coughing, and I have a lot of sinus stuff going on, allergies mostly. We're going to slowly bring the palms together. You can interlace your hands or keep the fingers or keep them flat. We're going to inhale back up again. And then on an out breath, reaching over to the side. Again, not so far over that one of your sits bones lifts off the chair. You want to keep both of them releasing into the support of the seat you've taken. One side's going to have more pressure on it than the other, though. So they may not feel even, but don't go over so far that you're actually lifting. Just feeling that stretch along the side. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale back over to the other side. Same thing, staying grounded in the seat. Don't lose your seat. Horseback riders will appreciate this direction. This is really what mindfulness and equanimity bring us. The ability to keep our seat. No matter what the terrain might be that we're traveling. It might be really smooth and open and free. It might be really wooded and full of roots, and it might be difficult. There might be many things to jump over. Who knows what obstacles will be there? We want to keep our seat. Good, bringing them back down again. It might feel good to do some shoulder rolls in both directions. Now that we've done a little stretching, then we're going to let the head drop for a moment. Big breath in and then exhale. And breathing however you want to. We'll just do some neck rolls in both directions, maybe 3 or 4 times in each direction. And you can feel how the weight of the head in various positions makes a difference. So when the head is forward, just leave it forward for a moment. You can feel that stretch all the way down the back. If you'd like, you can let your upper arms and hands hang over the head. Then let that go. And you can feel that stretch. When your head's over to the side, you can feel the stretch on the opposite side. If your chin's lifted and your head's pulled back and down like this, you can feel the stretch here. You can also feel the compression at the back of your head. So as we're coming back up, good morning, Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily's here to give some advice too. As you're bringing your head back to center, just very, very gently nodding yes. Remembering that your head comes all the way up to about the level of your cheekbones. If you put your fingers in your ears and they went in and met, if they could go through, they'd meet right at the top of the spine. This is the little fulcrum of balance for the head. Yes and no. Way up top. So you can play with that, nodding yes, moving side to side no, until you feel a lightness, less pressure on your neck, maybe less sensation, maybe an overall warm, open sensation. Who knows what you'll feel, but allowing the whole spine to support the top of your head rather than maybe just the neck, and knowing that any sort of shift in the weight of your head, forward, back, side, turning, however you do it, that's taking about 10 pounds. And as it sits delicately atop your slender, flexible spine, a little shift in weight can make a huge difference. So you might bring some awareness to that today. See if you can notice, just ask a simple question. What's the relationship of my head to my spine right now? Am I pushed forward? Am I back? Whatever. Just gather the data and bring some awareness to this really important relationship of head to spine. Just notice what you're doing when you move your head or fix your head in a position. We want to be releasing the head so that it has so many different possibilities for movement. We don't want to hold a position or be fixed in any way. Because as we've already discovered this morning, just by noticing the light in the room we're in, everything is always changing. So we really want to avoid holding and fixing postures in the body and in the mind. One of the benefits of mindfulness meditation is we begin to see the places that we hold on to so tightly and how that limits us. So we're just going to settle in for a few minutes of guided meditation now. And if you're really sleepy this morning, I really encourage you not to close your eyes, but to just have a very soft kind of downward gaze, or some advice that's been given to me when I've been sleepy, when I meditate, is just keep the eyes open a tiny slit. That's enough work that it kind of keeps you awake and aware. But it also isn't the same as having completely open eyes. So you can decide what to do with your eyes. Whatever you do should support the shift of attention inward. We're going to gather all the disparate thoughts, feelings, sensations, bring them together in this moment. This is what we mean by concentration. Not a tightness, but a gathering together, a bringing together of all the essentials. So allowing all that gathering to be focused here in the body, beginning by feeling the weight of the body against the seat, accepting the support of gravity. And tuning in to see, how is it in this body this morning? I spent a few minutes in contemplation before I went live this morning, looking out the window, watching the dawn come up, which is how we describe it to ourselves. We describe the sun rising. And that's what it looks like. But what's actually happening in those moments is we are turning toward the sun. We're on a swiftly moving, rotating planet. And it appears that the light is increasing because the sun is rising up over the horizon and getting higher in the sky. And that really is what it looks like. And the truth is, the sun is not moving, but we are. Our ability to understand, comprehend, and measure this is outstanding. And our habit of forgetting it is understandable. So as we settle into meditation, let's hold this question in mind. Two questions, actually. The first one, just in general, is what I'm experiencing or what I'm thinking about what I'm experiencing. Is it so? Is it so? In a very kind and curious way, not in a way that's like, I'm going to prove myself wrong or I'm going to show myself where I'm wrong, but more just, is what I think is happening, are my thoughts about what's happening right now, are they true? Is it so? Getting in the habit of questioning our own stories. Many times you will find that what you're actually experiencing is true and your thoughts about it are not. The other question to hold in mind, or you could choose one, is where in me am I turning toward the light? How am I moving toward the light? How am I allowing light to dawn right now? And it might be just one small pinpoint of ease in the body or joy in the heart or one hopeful thought that comes across the screen of the mind while we sit. The earliest light as dawn begins, just that glimmer of light. And can I allow myself to turn toward that light? Or if the image of light is not working for you, just some kind of ease. Ease in the heart or the mind. Can I turn toward that? Not to grab onto it, not to make something happen with it, but just to be with it and watch it change and grow. If it's helpful to stay anchored, to keep the attention steady, you can stay with the breath or the body. And remain curious about what you're experiencing. Where is dawn's early light for you? And how are you turning toward, revolving toward the ever-growing light today? So we'll continue in silence for just a few minutes. training in sensitivity to those glimmers of ease and rightness, joy and balance and calm. No need to gloss over or skip over those moments when they arise. Really note them clearly, without grabbing, without clinging. Inclining the mind toward the light as it grows. Allowing the light to strengthen you, direct you, support you. Resonating with these light-filled moments as part of your true nature. And in this way, becoming more familiar with our true nature so that when we ask, is it so? We'll know sooner rather than later. If our thoughts are just thoughts or if they're true. Thank you for your practice today.